I flew into LaGuardia. I hate flying, by the way. Next time I want a car all the way from Detroit, brother. I hate flying.
All right.
And I was thinking about waiting.
Okay.
For Trump Force One.
I got him.
Trump Force One.
I saw
Were you
him.
there?
He landed right before me.
I was like, I'm getting out of here before I can't get to the show. But so I'm writing down in the cab the Trump stuff. All right, let me see here real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
He's got an investigation in Georgia for fraud, election fraud.
Okay.
He's got 2 for January 6th.
Okay.
He's got 1 for the top secret docs.
Okay.
He's got 1 in New York State for business fraud.
Okay.
He's been impeached twice. He went through the Mueller hoax.
Free advertisement.
And now this is what they're getting him for.
Charlie.
So you're saying right guy, wrong case?
Well, yes, she's absolutely right. This is the point you just made.
Stephen A. Smith said I'm absolutely right. Hey, Mom.
Hey, listen, I'm not.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, Charlie.
No bullshit!
This just in breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
Well, it's that time of the week where you actually get some real news. I know you've been waiting. So, Red's in studio, Karen's ensconced in her chick cave. And here's what you're going to get. Stay tuned. Eric Mays, America's favorite city councilman, Eric Mays, going berserk on TikTok. Like 600 million views.
Yep.
His shit's not on there.
Try it again.
Yeah, he's a
I
new
say I love
superstar.
Eric Mays.
Yeah, I heard you.
I love Eric Mays. Is that better?
Yeah,
Fix that up.
overmodulated. But
Yeah, and I think I was trying to look on all social media. I think he's got like 1 billion views. The guy's resonating. We all know him, right?
Friend of the show.
You first learned him here on this show. He's a real fighter for the people. And I've got exclusive, never before seen, unearthed Eric Mays rapping and taking a shower.
it's great.
So
Too.
Oh,
It's really
rapping, like rapping, or rapping something. What kind of rapping? Are you
Like,
talking
you know, like, hey, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle.
dropping rhymes.
But wait, what was he did a rap for the No Bullshit News Hour. Do we still have that?
I got that somewhere.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. So while you're finding that, I'm also going to tell you about, I was in New York, about Trump. But where there's Trump, there's Clinton. And where there's Clinton, there's Clarence Thomas. And where there's Clarence Thomas, there's fraud in Lansing. The whole shit's fucked up. I'm just angry. All right. Then we got...
There's a lot of bullshit going on down here.
That's not the one.
I know it's not.
Oh, yeah, but that's a good one. That's Eric.
Every hour on the hour, when we listen and gain our knowledge and power, we turn to the no bullshit hour.
Nice.
It's exclusive.
Billion.
Fuck you, TikTok. Look what we got. All you little Mayites, you little Eric sycophants. We got a song. All right. Yeah, we get the Whitmer really giving it to the DTE officials.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, which she really didn't. She blew them. I can't believe it. The head of DTE says, go ahead and give us your criticism. And she does the exact opposite.
Yep.
Don't forget, she took $800,000 from him. Don't forget. This is so...
But that should tell you something, though, Charlie. I mean, there's the opportunity for her to demand some accountability, to express the frustration of Michiganders, demand...
Michiganians, don't be tricked.
Whatever. People that live in Michigan. I mean, and she did none of that.
Yeah, she did none of that. Except take the money. I can't... come on, man.
But she had to make sure she could get some more money.
You'll be shocked what you hear. But look, I want to start this. I told you, Lansing, we're all together. We're all a community. Your kids are my kids. The MSU shooter. Remember last week, they're going to charge me $15,000 and take 5 months to get 911 calls to the neighborhood. Okay, all right, I call. I went on Google Earth for quite a while, and I zoomed in on each house, all 27 that surround this guy, and I reapplied. I Freedom of Information Act it. So now drum roll, please. They're not going to charge me $990.
Oh,
$990.
Okay.
it's quite a discount.
Now, I would say this. We all want some answers here. Did the police show up when he was firing in the neighborhood? Blah, 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 blah. I'll take care of this. I was going to ask you for a donation, but this one's on me. This is my contribution to our community. Again, there could be nothing there.
Well, we can donate, Charlie. We're a team. We can all put something in. You shouldn't have to bear that burden alone. We carry the same.
Don't make me
Okay,
look
go
bad.
ahead.
You know I was going to hit you up after the show.
Karen,
don't
stay
make-
at the Normandy, Karen. Don't.
I was going to hit you up. Of course I was. Hey, Karen, give me $500.
Meanwhile, Red and I are like, why is Karen making us pay now?
Right. I stay at the Normandy. Jesus, I'm living week to week here. Are you serious?
That's the problem, Mark. Like, give a shit about somebody besides you. Why do I got to help somebody?
I help. I got about $2. I mean, I'm being honest here. It's tight. Shit. That damn eggs, $8 a carton. I'm barely making it.
Stop out your head.
All right, but here's... So I'm talking to my lawyer about this, my lawyer Steve. Y'all know my lawyer Steve.
Good guy, yeah.
And he says to do it that way. But then we get to talking, I get to thinking, I got to make myself aware and make you aware of every step of this guy in law enforcement. So I didn't do it. Lots of other reporters did do it, but I did it myself. I asked for the police report the night in 2019 when he was arrested for having a piece on him, right? And the body cam footage. Now it's been out there. Okay, but this hasn't been reported. This is really let you know what's going on. So, dude, the cop. Let's start with the cop. You want to play this shit here?
We can play it, yeah, and I can
Or
pause
should
it.
I set it up first?
Well, he's rolling up on him. I mean, I don't know what more setup you need. And I can pause.
According to this report, there's extra cops in the neighborhood because there's been a rash of robberies in the businesses. So that's his reasonable suspicion, right? They put you out there, be on the lookout for a burglar.
Yep.
He pulls up in a dark lot. There's a guy sitting on the steps of a building at 2 a.m. Reasonable, right? Mm-hmm. He gets out of the car, puts the lights on him, says you'll hear it. And then guy gets up, he reaches into his pocket, and at that moment the cop goes, "You have a weapon?" And he pulls out his cigarettes. And then he looks at the cop and he goes, "Yeah." So the cop turns him around, says, "I'm going to detain you for a second." That's legal. That's called a Terry stop, right?
Safety
You have
for the officer.
reasonable suspicion. There's been crime in the neighborhood. Here's a guy in the dark in a place that's not his at 2 a.m. It's reasonable. Mm-hmm. Well, let's play that.
You got any weapons on you right now? Huh? You got any weapons on you or anything like that?
Yeah.
You have a weapon on you?
Yeah.
What do you have?
380.
380? Go ahead and put your hands behind your back real quick. I'm just going to detain you for a second, okay? Can you put your cigarette out? You can
Professional.
drop all that. I don't want to break you out there. Do you have a concealed carry permit?
I'm working on it.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, man. Where's your 380 at? Okay. Just hang tight for me, okay?
Okay. So an officer, the reason he's allowed to do that is for his safety.
Okay.
It's been done to me. I didn't like it, but it's constitutional. That's been ruled. Terry versus Ohio. Look it up. Okay. So according to this report,
Got anything else? You just got,
That's it, but
he got a 380, one clip in it, one in the chamber, hollow point bullets, one in his vest pocket. Okay? He's charged with carrying a concealed weapon in June. It's not till put the video back up there.
nothing's going to stick or poke me, no knives, no
Right
needles.
there, pause it. Okay. The guy gets a lawyer, and the lawyer claims that's unconstitutional. Now, here's what's going on in your courts. The prosecutor and the judge don't want no trial. They don't want to go through it, right? So they want to have lesser charges. They want to plead this shit down. Let's move along. Mm-hmm. Like, what did he do? He really didn't do anything.
Clear the docket.
Clear the docket.
Assembly line of justice.
So in October, put it back up, please. In October, they come up with this misdemeanor. It was never filed. You see the bicycle back there?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. This is Michigan Penal Code 750.1 227 is the concealed weapons law. Underneath that, 750.227C, transporting or possessing, this is a misdemeanor, transporting or possessing a loaded firearm in or upon a vehicle propelled by mechanical means. So, was he transporting or possessing a loaded firearm in or on a vehicle? And it goes on to state what those are. A sailboat. Can't have a loaded weapon, right?
Mm-hmm. No pistol when you go fishing.
You're on a sailboat. You can't, not motor vehicle, aircraft, motorboat, or any other vehicle propelled by mechanical means. That ain't a bicycle. And if you're a clever legal scholar, you could argue, I guess, that a bicycle is motor propelled. Okay, fine. But the guy's not on the bike. He's not even touching the bike. He's not even close to the bike. So how the fuck do you come up and concoct a charge to get him the fuck off your docket? I talked to, you guys know this program. I talked to name prosecutors, name defense attorneys, right? They've never heard of this. One called it unconscionable. Another said, I've never heard of that, a bicycle. And a third said, happens all the time, bro. Happens everywhere. Happens all around. Wow. So he goes on to murder our children. Okay? Here's what you could have done. You could have gone to court with this. You could have charged him with the felony. He would no longer be allowed to get, if you're going to come on time so you're not fucking me up. It's not romper room. See, you see that, Jeremiah? I did that to everybody. I don't like tardiness. How are you, man? Okay. You take him to court, you convict him, he's no longer allowed to buy a weapon ever. Yeah. Okay? But you don't ever have to put him in prison. Here's the scale. 0 days to 5 years. You can take away his right to have a weapon, and then the next time if you catch him with a weapon, well, shit, motherfucker, that's 5 years.
Right.
Okay? So now dig. Every time we have a shooting, the Republicans do nothing, and the Democrats wring their hands, and they say, we need laws. We need laws. Mm-hmm. Well, this is a Democratic-run town. New York's a Democratic-run town. Detroit's a Democratic-run town. We have the law. You didn't want to apply it.
Didn't enforce it.
Mm-hmm. But that's part of the conversation. We keep talking about the laws that are on the books that nobody is enforcing. And so why add more layers of laws that won't be enforced? It makes everything look good and read well, but it's not doing anything to change the outcome.
It is horse shit. They are fucking with us. Then Attorney Dana Nessel,
the top law enforcer of the state.
Yes, she is. And she's, you're going to dig this story. She's on CNN with Wolf Blitzer during, using as a backdrop, the vigil for the dead and wounded students. Okay, wow. Okay. So she tells Wolf Blitzer, he had his probation. He got 1 year probation. And he didn't meet the terms of it. So they extended it out to 18 months. And she said, I'd like to know why. We'd all like to know why, because here's the other thing. You didn't get charged with the felony. You got the probation, and you basically told the court to fuck itself. And the court did nothing.
Well,
wait, let it sink in a second. They did nothing. Okay, go ahead, brother.
I think it's just showing what we have going on everywhere.
Let's focus here. Detroit, Lansing. I mean, let's do us.
I'm talking about us.
Which is incredibly violent. Lansing, Detroit, two of the most violent cities in the state of Michigan.
They're underfunding the prosecutor's office. We've had Kibworthy out here. You know that. County executive won't fund it to the extent it needs be. Biden sent all the fake money. You could have plowed it into that, and we could start making some headway. Because even if you're the most right-wing gun owner, you know you want people who are coherent and consistent with the gun laws
Yes.
to be able to carry. This is the guy that we didn't want to carry. I'm not walking around with a piece if I'm not licensed.
Me either.
And that should be the way it is. That's how it is in Michigan. And if you don't like it, move to Arizona. There ain't no rules there. But they didn't follow them. And this prosecutor doesn't want to prosecute for any gun charges. And then, a shooting happens and we need more gun laws. Why? You're not going to fucking enforce them. How about we start funding our stuff?
You can't keep asking people to do the most with the least. And that's what the current system has been running on. Bare bones, skeleton, dry, not getting the funding it needs. The people are overworked, people cutting corners. So in the end, eventually it's going to come to head. And this is one of those incidents.
You're supposed to be the funny man.
Well, I can be serious sometimes.
That's very heavy and deep.
I'm sorry. We're talking about our kids.
I didn't know you had it in you.
It's nothing funny when we're talking about our kids getting gunned down at school when it could have been prevented.
That is something to me right there. That's the beginning of it. Now, hey, Lansing, I'm coming. I'm going to the courthouse, so get it ready for me. I'm pulling that whole case file. And you're going to send me all the dispatches to the neighborhood, and I'm coming back to the neighborhood. Because this is bothering me now, because I called Madam Attorney General Nessel to see what you found out. You know what I got? Reception. So let me talk to the communications director. Let me take a message. I said, Charlie LeDuff, and I wait, and then it hangs up. I'm waiting for a minute, and then it clicks off.
Are you serious?
And then I call back. I go, was I supposed to wait or no? I said, get her the message. I go, can you just give me her desk line, please? No. What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no? She's the press director. I'm the press communication. I can't give that out. You're not allowed to give out a public number to a public official?
She should give you her cell number, Charlie. You are supposed. People in the communication space for public officials are supposed to be accessible.
I could have got it from another reporter I know, but I want to do the official channel. I got this back just before we went on air. Here's the answer I got. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, Charlie. That case, the probation case, was handled by the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office, not the Department of the Attorney General. I recommend you reach out to them.
Oh, passing the buck.
I said, well, if you would have taken my call, you would know my question. What, and I wrote back, I haven't heard, what has the Attorney General of the great state of Michigan found out about the death of our children?
Oh, is that her?
Let me see who it is. Let's see.
It's exciting.
Hello?
It doesn't sound like her.
Yeah.
Sure doesn't.
I'm in the middle of the fucking show, Derek. Yeah, come on up, man.
Too friendly.
No, not
Oh, you sound, it's the firefighter from Windsor that likes Red's work. He sounds loaded. Figure it out.
It's opening day
See you
down
later.
It has been, yeah.
Ooh, he sounds soft. Woo! Woo! Derek's in fine form.
Too much for me.
I liked it. I liked it better when it was COVID and then he couldn't come over here. All right, so that's the bullshit. It's $1,000 is my contribution to our community at large, and I got to remind everybody, we are a community, even if we're mad at each other. We deserve these answers. I love you.
It's true.
All right, so let me get onto my rant, but the rant brought to you by Legacy Partners. Just remember what we've been telling you. How do you bring down your bills? You call Legacy. Legacy shops for you. They look at what you got, then they go shopping. Mark, you won?
I did, yeah. I saved a lot of money.
Karen, did you win?
Actually, I will say yes, I did, because their customer service was excellent, and the numbers they came back with, my insurance company matched, so they knew.
Whoa!
So it worked. Yeah, it worked.
And you know what? Did Legacy charge you for that?
No, they didn't, and they were okay with it. They said, as long as you have what works best for you, then we're good. So they were, listen, I'm all about professionalism. They were professional. They followed
Karen,
up.
they're not paying that much. Just keep it to 30 seconds. That's honest as shit. They're really good people.
I'm just telling the truth, because if they didn't, I would like the opportunity to say so. So no, they did everything that I expected them to do. I mean, I am a stickler for professionalism, and I have no complaints.
Look at that. And that's the fact with Karen. So listen, give them a call. I saved a lot. Bernie saved a lot. You saved a lot. They were good to red. They got them about the same. They don't bullshit you. They're not trying to move you.
Ain't call me back on a Saturday.
On a Saturday. 586-209-4106. It's like the old school. You got an insurance agent that answers you.
Yeah.
It's like Mayberry.
Yeah, you know their name.
It's like Lansing used to be till they fucked it up. Sorry, Legacy.
Yeah,
I still make him. I'm sorry, Legacy. Remember, my opinions do not reflect the advertisers. I'm sure they love Lansing. All right. 586-209-4106. And also Hall Financial, as you know. Market is up and down like a washwoman's ass on Monday.
Yep.
Right? Where can you consolidate debt from your home? Right? Get it all done. One easy payment. And of course, if you're buying a house,
now's the time.
it
too.
is. They're regulated now,
Yeah.
right? Now's the time to lock in, and the rates go down. You can refi.
Spring and summer.
Look at that. Okay, you go to call a Hall Financial at 866-CALL-HALL, or get started by going to callhallfirst.com.
Beautiful.
Yep.
See if
Is that where you got your mortgage?
I do, yes. Yeah.
See,
another very they were like that, Karen. Another very professional outfit.
We do not.
Quick.
We do not hard sell. If we don't use it, we ain't bringing it to you.
Yep.
I'd like Manscaped to advertise again, because I'm still wearing the underpants they gave me.
They're great
and the razor's great.
They're really good
Hey,
underwear.
I was supposed to get a razor from them. I never got anything. I didn't get my shirt. I didn't get my razor. I don't get anything.
Well, they're not Legacy. You know what I'm saying? They're Manscaped.
Yeah. They're not local. They're national.
I mean, a razor is a razor. What are you talking about? Like, shaving is shaving.
What do you mean?
Okay.
You want to expound on that?
I get visions in my
No.
All right, let me
Move on,
finish.
Charlie. Move on.
Yeah, all right. Listen, I'm standing here, square in the middle of the Middle West, and here's what I now know. I know the indictment against Donald J. Trump is as cherry-picked as it is corrosive. I know Governor Gretchen Whitmer, too, likely cheated on her IRS documents and campaign finance filings over those private jet trips. I know Hillary Clinton did, too, and I'll bring you that in a minute. But no one's going to do a damn thing about any of it. I know Russian meddling in the 2016 election with the use of Twitter bots has been proven to be a sham perpetrated by a mendacious and overambitious media, top spooks at the spy agencies, big tech execs in Silicon Valley, and power-grubbing politicos in the Beltway. The man who exposed much of it, my old friend and acquaintance Matt Taibbi, who's been on this program, now has the IRS physically knocking on his door. Kid you not. Taibbi, if you don't know him, is one of the most liberal-minded, peaceable, First Amendment-loving people I've ever known. He's what we used to call a Democrat. I know there was no election fraud at the TCF Center in Detroit the night Biden defeated Trump. I know so because I was working there as an election worker processing your ballots. And I was also there processing your ballots to keep an eye on fraud. There were no 150,000 fake ballots that came in at 4 a.m. So as if to return the hoax, Trump cries fraud. He needs to stop the schmeal. It's corrosive. I know the Detroit police have been secretly using a technology known as Stingray that captures information from crime suspects' cell phones by mimicking a cell tower. The police will not provide the search warrants to fucking Canadian. The police will not provide the search warrants that are required of them by law, nor will the department say what they do with the data they inadvertently capture from everyday citizens like you and me. I know Democrats like Whitmer, Mayor Mike Duggan, and members of the Detroit City Council cut backroom deals and hand over billions of public dollars to Republican developers like Dan Gilbert, who in turn turns around and donates money to Donald Trump. See how that works? I know the economy is heading for the cliff Many financial experts are predicting a crash in commercial real estate. And yet here we are, funneling hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars. So those billionaire developers are guaranteed a handsome profit on commercial real estate that a true market can't support. I know Detroit had roughly the same murder rate last year as it did 30 years ago. About 55 per 100,000 people, except the Detroit Police Department didn't count 37 of those homicides last year because they figure people in those cases were justified in taking the other person's life since they couldn't wait for the overworked cops to get there on time. I know those billionaires who donate to Trump and Duggan won't pay taxes on those developments, but they'll still demand that police protect their tenants and employees. And so those officers will have to be pulled from the neighborhoods, and people in the neighborhoods will further feel compelled to take the law into their own hands. See how that works? I know COVID-19 killed the elderly, while the state of Michigan never bothered keeping track of who and how many old folks were dying in the nursing homes. I also know those same bureaucrats oversold the effectiveness of masks and vaccines. I know Trump and Biden paid workers more money to stay home than many workers ever made going to work. And suddenly, those workers had money to buy stuff they could never afford. But that same stuff became increasingly scarce because nobody was going to work to make the stuff. So the price of stuff started to skyrocket. The money the government sent to the workers was created out of thin air, thus causing the price of stuff to skyrocket some more. Now the banks and the dollar are on the verge of imploding. We all know that. And the banks and the politicians want more money made out of thin air. That's what I know standing here in the middle of middle America. The politicians need to take a cold shower, brush their teeth, then drag their asses back into the office and start getting some work done for the people caught in the middle of the mess they've made.
This message of uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial advice.
I heard my finger hitting the desk.
I wondered. You okay?
No.
Do you want me to send Derek to go get some Band-Aids?
Where? Oh,
exactly. Sorry, Red. There you are.
He's still downstairs.
Can you go let that drunk fireman up? Oh, it's going to be something.
It's going to be something. Yeah, that's right.
Any thoughts on that before we move along? Did I get something wrong? I know people don't appreciate some of it.
I think it's accurate. I think people do appreciate it, Charlie, and I don't think you should trivialize their appreciation. People want to know what's actually going on, and unfortunately, they don't have very many options to find out. But you hit the nail on the head on every aspect. You're correct.
I know some people don't agree, and that's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Don't have to agree.
I'm going to be I have not moved. Society's moving, and it's not. I'm not moving. I'm sticking by what I see and what I know.
I'm gonna be honest. Most of us are living it. So how can we not see it and appreciate it? We all going through this. Ain't like a few people just suffering.
Well, being manipulated, which brings me to the Trump stuff. Being in New York for that, being bottled up while they shut down the highway. Donald Trump gets indicted. He's got. We all know the story now. And by the way, the story is 100% true. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan prosecutor, he's got it nailed. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You took money, you funneled it through your lawyer, paid a porn star, right?
Yep.
In an effort to get elected president.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody disagree? I think Trump pretty much agrees with that even.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the bookkeeping, right? It was for legal expenses to my lawyer, right? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, that's a misdemeanor.
Yep.
2 years. 2 years are gone, but you can bring a misdemeanor back from the dead if you can attach a felony to it, and then it becomes a felony. Okay, so what is the crime committed by doing this book thing that's attached to another felony? What other crime? The other crime is campaign finance fraud. That's novel.
Yeah.
So the fact that you, with your own money, no less, paid off a porn star to keep quiet is supposed to be a campaign expense? You know what?
I guess, or a personal expense.
But that was never even listed in Bragg's indictment.
Exactly.
What the other crime is, because he's buying time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, my liberal friends, there's no doubt. Even my conservative friends, there's no doubt. But the question is that a crime? You didn't charge for it. He's got to be convicted of this crime in order to be charged with the other crime, I would think.
Yeah, but in general, a misdemeanor is just a slap on the wrist. You take care of it, you write a check, you correct it. So I don't know how piling misdemeanor on top of misdemeanor on top of misdemeanor is a felony if that crime wasn't committed. These
campaign finance fraud is a felony.
Okay.
So you did this.
State?
You did this. It's a federal felony, but
they declined to. Okay.
But it's interesting because he's a prosecutor within the state. You can't cherry pick federal law. You have no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So I suspect what he's doing is he's scrounging around for a state law.
But what would he say he wrote the check for, Charlie? I mean,
legal expenses.
Yeah.
I mean, for her, the check to her was for legal expenses, or he channeled it through the attorney.
He gave it to his attorneys,
yeah.
so that he calls it legal expenses, and that the attorney.
But isn't that a second generation expense, though? I mean, does that really
It's
have
bullshit.
the same?
It's hush money, right? You agree?
Yeah.
Republican guys back there, you agree? Yeah, we do. It's true. But is this to a level? Is this the one? We got as I said at the top of the show, 2 January 6th. We got election fraud. We've got financial crimes in the state of New York. This one?
Yeah.
This is so flimsy. You want to destroy my presidency. What, well beyond me being here on earth. Who the fuck would want to work for the president if you're compelled to have to testify?
Yeah.
Then you can't have robust conversations about real life shit that needs to be done. I wouldn't do it.
Well said. Yeah.
No way. Okay, now is there a double standard? Fuck yeah, there's a double standard. Hillary fucking Clinton. First of all, Donald Trump did it. I don't think that, and you know Alvin Bragg's got some stuff. Michael Cohen recorded shit.
Yeah.
There's handwritten stuff. The publisher of National Enquirer is also a witness. Oh, they got stuff. But is that, can you mesh that together?
He's trying.
If you can't explain it to us, But, you know, it's Manhattan. I like to visit Manhattan, but I lived in Queens, motherfucker.
It's really funny, too. He could have been arraigned via Zoom, right? But he knows what he's doing. He knows he goes up there to make the circus out of it because it already is a circus. So if it's going to be a circus, why not play the role and make it a bigger circus?
I sent you a picture of the T-shirts they're selling now. Did you see that?
Oh, yes.
They created a mugshot.
Yeah.
Trump did. He created a mugshot and then said not guilty, and they're selling it for $47.
He's always been a smart businessman.
Yeah, he's been a marketing genius. Why not?
He's got 5 drunk fucking firefighters.
I think the most important lesson in all this is just leave the money on the nightstand and walk the fuck out.
Yeah.
No paper trail.
I like my portal stars. I like my portal stars to be the best, the biggest, the hugest. I pay him in furs and steaks. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I just the whole check
Or
writing
pay
thing
him in
doesn't make
Bitcoin.
sense.
That's the new thing.
There's the shirt for anybody watching. So then you can just
And it's
click on
free.
what you want to donate, and you know.
But let me give you something though. Do you remember the Steele dossier?
Yeah.
You remember Trump is in Moscow with whores and they're golden showers and shit, and the bed Obama apparently slept in. That the whole thing, that the Russia gate, you know, Putin and is the puppet master of Trump and all that. That thing was proven to be fake, absolutely fake. Who paid for it? When all the scratching and clawing and opening the drapes, you know who paid for that?
Who?
Hillary fucking Clinton. So the whole turmoil brought to the United States started with Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. Do you know what happened exactly a year ago? exactly a year ago.
What?
The Federal Election Commission settled with the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign for $113,000 for fraudulent bookkeeping that the Clinton campaign funneled the money to their lawyer, and then the lawyer paid off Fusion GPS, the ones that put the dossier together. They hired Christopher Steele. So it did exactly what Trump did. And it was to what? Influence the 2016 election. That's another fucking felony, apparently. And she copped to it. Remember, the FEC looked at Trump's payoff and they didn't do anything. They did in this case. This thing ruined us. So guess where Clinton's campaign headquarters were located?
New York.
Fucking Brooklyn.
Yeah, there you go.
So where's the charge? See, that's what you get now, right? She needs to be charged. Charge Trump. Fuck it. I fucking hate the guy. No, I don't hate the guy. I'm just being dramatic.
You want consistent. I think everybody wants consistency.
Yeah, I want consistency. I want my fucking country back.
Only difference I see is paperwork, porn star. That's the only difference I see.
I see political shit.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I saw somebody use the analogy that the United States was like the Twix bar when you talked about Republicans and Democrats. It's literally the exact same thing on the left and the right. I thought that was the best analogy ever. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
My opinion is we just need to go and create another party or something, because I don't think we have number one party to pick from now.
The Russian shit was a hoax, but I'll say this. Was Trump indifferent to Russian meddling? Because remember, Clinton's emails got stolen. They were given to WikiLeaks. That's the Russians. And yes, Trump was out there going, send them. And if you can find the 33,000 deleted emails, send me those too. Okay, fine. He's guilty of that. Did Paul Manafort, his campaign director for a hot minute, have connections to Ukraine? And the guy, his name is Kilmanik. Did he have connections to Moscow? He did. Okay.
And the infamous meeting happened, but law comes down to intent.
What infamous meeting?
The one in Trump Tower
Well,
with
see,
Manafort. And I can't remember the name of the act, but
they were trying to see what if they got any WikiLeaks shit was coming. Okay. Okay. So there's that.
But it's intent.
But was Trump the stooge of Putin? No. It was made up. Right? It was made up.
Yeah.
So look at the damage that was caused. Then it gets into obstruction of justice and, witch hunt kind of shit.
Snowballs.
Now, at the same time, I said at the top of the show, Matt Taibbi, my friend, used to write for Rolling Stone. That guy's a liberal. That guy's like ACLU liberal. But he's a freedom of speech guy. Tell the truth. He's a 68 fucking hippie kind of guy. But Elon Musk gave him the emails going on in Twitter. So here's what we know. Remember the bots? Remember the ones? They're disinformation. The Russians are meddling. And I'm looking at Facebook and there's an ad and I'm like, oh my God. I got tricked by some fucking ad.
Right.
Do you know? There were no bots. There were no bots. Here's what you got. There's something called the Alliance for Securing Democracy. It's a great big think tank made up by bigwigs. You know who's in it? Bill Kristol, that neocon. Remember Elmer Fudd looking fucker? We got to go to Iraq to remake the world. We got to do it. We got to bring democracy. Weapons of mass destruction. Fucking bullshit. John Podesta, who ran Clinton's campaign, Hillary's. So you got the left, you got the right, and all the retired heads of the spy agencies, CIA, FBI, NSA, they all got this group. And they funded a subgroup, one run by a former counterintelligence officer with the CIA, with the FBI. And this thing was called Hamilton 68. And all the journalists loved it. They put out a dashboard. We're monitoring 600 Russian bots, and it has a reach of 126 million people. It's brainwashing us, right? We can't tell you who the accounts are. We can't do that, because if we tell you that, they'll know we're on to them. Okay, what does Taibbi find out? None of them are tied to Russia. Most of them are just American citizens yakking off. It was a fraud. And the fucking media just went with it. They didn't give a fuck. I worked at the New York Times. I know who you fucking are. I know that you won the Pulitzer Prize. You haven't apologized. Come out of your fucking rat hole. Washington Post, come out of your rat hole and apologize. Because when I was there, you would never be caught up with this because you will be fired. You were scared to death to attach your name to some trash that fucking ruining the country and as a consequence, the world. You've destabilized the world because you're little greedy click grubbers and you want a TV contract and a book contract and you're gonna fucking apologize. Because sometime I'm gonna show up in Pulitzer Hall where my name hangs. I did the work. You're a fraud. The Democrats are a fraud. The Republicans are a fraud. The spy agencies are frauds. Big tech is frauds.
Elon stripped their blue check, though. He took their blue check away.
I guess Elon's a fraud. Does that make me go to put? I like to stay in love with liberals too. They're all fucked. If they fucking my kid, it was all garbage. Okay, where did the New York Times, the Washington Post, where'd you get? How did the stories about the Trump shit happen? Want to know how they happen? We've got a source. So Hillary Clinton gives the Steele dossier that she paid for to the media. They drop it. The other media get wind of it. The FBI get wind of it. The FBI starts trying to prove it's true. They open up an investigation. They use it to get wiretaps on Trump's campaign. And it was fake. And some of the guys involved with that Steele dossier were FBI informants.
And if I remember correctly, it was a big who made about 3 days before the election went on about all this not even being worth the time.
I don't even know what you said there. Come on. Specific. Big hoo-hey 3 days about all this. What the fuck
who was
does
the
that
lead
mean?
of the FBI then?
I'm being...
You're talking about...
I ask that you come fucking prepared for this shit. But no, that's cool, actually, because that's what's happening to us all. I kind of forget.
You're talking about Comey.
Comey, yes.
Comey.
When he reopened it.
Comey, but Comey gave testimony to Congress saying the New York Times story is false. There was no intercept of Russian intelligence talking to Trump's campaign. It was completely false. And it just led to everything. Let's just admit that. A lot of reasons to hate Trump. I get that. But don't let them make us hate each other. And then watch what happens. So Hillary gives it to the press. Press puts it out there. FBI gets on it. Then all the press wants a piece of it. So what did the press do? They went to the guys who commissioned the report. The guys at Fusion GPS. They were the source, the secret source. The ones that put together the bogus fucking thing in the first place. And it's never been corrected.
It's too much.
Like
did that make sense?
Yeah.
This isn't even believable.
They fucked
I'm
up.
saying
They know
it's
they
too
fell
much.
in the rabbit hole. And when they found out they were in the hole, they never came back to correct all the stuff they got played to put out.
They played themselves. They wanted it so bad. You couldn't stand to get beat. Right? Now, Taibbi put out, the Twitter files. And Jeff Girth from the New York Times, that guy was like a giant, right? When I was there, he did like Whitewater, he did Watergate, he did weapons of mass destruction, selling missile technology to the Chinese. He won the Pulitzer for that. That guy is a killer. He's 70-something now. He put 2 years into his story, right? Wow. He talked to FBI, NSA. He reached out to 60 journalists. I'm doing the fingers if you're listening. Journalists. Only 12 got back to him.
Wow.
So much for that. Wow, man. Media's fucked. You see why I get mad when I proved Whitmer was ignoring the old people in the nursing homes and all y'all just walked away from it. Because it would have fucked up all the work you did. All the prizes you won. What about us? If you want to sell stuff, sell us the truth and we'll buy it.
Yeah, the funny part is they wonder why nobody trusts them now. Because we've been proven time and time again in the last few years, you are not to be trusted.
There are good ones. Let me call out a few local names. Rob Snell,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
writer.
Craig Mauger, Beth LeBlanc,
George Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
These are real journalists doing real stuff. Suggest you absorb some mainstream media, the good ones. You know who it is. And stop shopping around for what you want to believe. It's another problem.
And
Okay.
subscribe to these platforms. Stop bitching about it being behind a paywall. Like, I'm so tired. Everybody's like, I'd read that, but it's behind a paywall.
I hate that.
Okay. You would buy it when it was a hard copy in the store. This is the same thing. Now it's just electronic. You can get it for $1 for 6 months. Come on, people. Like,
No.
let's
I agree with them. Why buy it? Because,
No.
the television stations will buy it and they'll just redo it because those fuckers don't do anything.
but you have to. I mean, to me, the more information you have, the better your ability to discern, an informed position for yourself.
Oh.
Like, you just can't take what one person, one platform is saying. You read. You need to read.
Oh, you mean be informed?
If that's
to
not
know
too
what's
much
going
to
on?
ask. Yes.
I got breaking news.
Okay, hit the buzzer.
I've got breaking news. Exclusive. Governor Whitmer's a fucking phony. She ain't fixing no power. She ain't gonna fix the power grid. We've got tape of Gretchen Whitmer addressing DTE employees company-wide.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry Norcia, the CEO, just days after the mega ice storm not seen since way back in 2003. It's just 20 years ago. It's not the ice age, like the fucking mastodons walking around.
Let me guess. She kicked his ass.
Well, Jerry says in front of the, if you could criticize us or, tell us what you want, or this is what I would have done. I would have said to Jerry and the company, you get this third world power grid together and you get it done post haste, or I'm going to take all the power of this position in the state of Michigan and I'm coming after your ass. That's what I would have said. And I think she said something like that, but not really. Go ahead, play this.
Jump it forward. I forgot to cue it to where you wanted it.
I'll talk a little more about that after we speak with the governor about automation and also undergrounding as sort of bolder actions in addition to the strategies that we have underway. But my question for you, Governor, what is your sense of some of the things we're doing, and what encouragement do you want to give us in terms of things that we're doing right, as well as things that we need to think about doing better at?
Pause. You mean, Jerry, when it iced a little bit and 800,000 customers, which are nearly 2 million human beings, were without power, some for a week? You mean you with the worst grid in the United States? Why don't you tell us what we're doing wrong, Governor? And boy, she's about ready to crack his ass.
We're doing right, as well as things that we need to think about doing better at.
Keep the power on, Jerry.
I appreciate the question, Jared. And let me start by saying thank you to so many of your team who was working incredibly hard, long hours. I joined you at one of the work sites to just thank the line women and men who were out there, one of whom himself didn't have power at the time. I'll never forget that conversation. But in the all the crises that we've all had to manage through these last handful of years, I think I've heard myself say, this is a 500-year flooding event multiple times, right?
Whoa.
These are no longer...
Whoa. Oh, it's global warming, 500-year event. There was never a 500-year event of anything. You mean when the east side flooded? That's, Jerry, that's because the power wasn't on at the pumping station.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Why do I keep reading shit where like 6 inches fell in 2 hours? That was somewhere in the South. They didn't flood, Jerry, Gretch. You took almost $1 million from DTE. Maybe that's 500. You confused a million with 500,000. I don't know.
Say, this is a 500-year flooding event multiple times, right? These are no longer 500-year events. We are seeing the convergence of climate change with infrastructure that wasn't built recently, much less
Or kept up by you, Jerry.
intended to handle this kind of pressure that we're dealing with from climate change. And so,
let me tell you about climate change. It's raining so much that those trees are growing really fast into the power lines that you won't cut, Jerry.
The work that we have to do, it has to be collaborative. We have to, proceed together and make sure that we are building out a grid that offers affordable energy, and that's really key to unlocking all of our economic potential. And as electrification becomes more crucial for families and communities and small businesses, making strategic investments to shore up our grid. And, whether it's flooded highways in Detroit or it's washed out bridges and dams in Midland, we've all been confronting and feeling the pressure from climate. So I just think the work to rebuild this grid, to move as fast as we can, and to be good partners is going to be crucial to all of our success. And as the governor of the state, I'm all in, and we're trying to move as fast as we can, and I know you are as well.
We're gonna go to the electric future, but we don't have any electricity because of global warming. The highways flooded because the pumps went out. That's what happened.
And it happened back to back, Charlie. Remember when it flooded from the Connor Creek station? We heard about 3 or 4 different reasons as to why the area flooded. They said, we assure you, Great Lakes Water Authority, City of Detroit, everybody stood and said, this will never happen again. 4 weeks later, it literally happened again.
Remember, I said outside.
And it happened about maybe 2 months ago. So I can only expect in the upcoming.
I remember this was the biggest ice storm in 50 years. They said 50. They said 50, right? Okay. 50 years ago, we had a big ice storm. I remember it. The power didn't go out.
Yeah.
I think she would have been better just playing Milli Vanilli, Blame It on the Rain for him.
The fact is, you're not maintaining the grid so you can siphon the profits off and give them to the shareholders. Something as precious as power maybe shouldn't have that model. Maybe that's what you tell them, Jerry. Amen. If you don't get your shit done, we're going to go back to overlording you. This would happen in California, and this would happen in Texas. And if you want to run for Senate, then you get in the room and go have lunch with them and figure out some comprehensive national strategy where you don't leave us behind. And stop talking about the electric future when the CEO of Stellantis is telling you we don't have the minerals to create the world you're telling us we're moving towards. It's horse shit. Please, now, let them end this with a string of cliches.
As the governor of the state, I'm all in, and we're trying to move as fast as we can, and I know you are as well at DT, and I'm really grateful for the work that everybody's doing. I know it's been tough, but tough times don't last. Tough people do, and you get some of the toughest people in the state there at DTE.
Absolutely, and I think thank you for the words of encouragement, and we won't let you down. We're going to continue to do what we do, and when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and that's what we do here at DTE.
Won't let you down. What about
he said
me?
he's going to continue. He's going to continue doing what they're doing. So no accountability, no demands for any changes or anything. He's like, hey, we're going to do what we've been doing.
That's what goes on behind the closed doors, people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on to our last piece. Very exclusive here.
Oh, wow.
The people's, America's City Councilman, Eric Mays, going berserk on social media. I think he got like nearly 1 billion views.
Wow.
1 billion. 600 million on TikTok alone. Because he speaks the truth, he speaks it in a cool way, and he gets himself in trouble with his big mouth that's pointed in the right direction. But this was, I did a piece, a pilot for A&E, and I chose the Flint water crisis. This is from 2017-18, never before seen. I took a water tanker full of fresh water from Ann Arbor and some showers to Flint so people could have one clean shower. And this is Eric Mays, rapping Eric Mays, naked Eric Mays. You're going to love this. This is like Eric Mays, like you've never seen him before.
I don't know.
No, don't bring it down.
Councilman Eric Mays has always been a loud, if not deep, voice against the Flint power clique. Mays was against the switch from the beginning and continues to be a thorn in the side of the establishment.
Who do I want to talk to?
Right now, you're talking to First Ward City Councilman Eric Mays. I might be one of the people who understands what happened. This has been a real fight in order to try to fix Flint. The motivation was to send an emergency manager in here, sign agreements, take the power away from Flint and Detroit controlling water in this region.
Who signed those? Who signed those documents?
Ed Kurtz.
With Flint flat broke, Governor Snyder stripped city officials of their power and placed it in the hands of an emergency manager. His name? Ed Kurtz, the former dean of a local commuter college. In an effort to save the city money, apparently, Kurtz ordered Flint to leave the Detroit water system and build its own identical water system. But that new pipeline would take 2 years to build. So Ed decided in the meantime, Flint would get its water from the local river. The savings the city would earn by temporarily drinking from the Flint River would pay for upgrades to Flint's water treatment plant. Lots of jobs in that, lots of contracts, lots of political contributions. Just one little problem. The necessary upgrades were never made to the plant in the first place, and the people of Flint were served water not fit for a pig.
You've been showering in this water yourself.
I can't afford to not shower.
The question here is, what does that do to your ball sack? Does it chafe it?
It might hang a little bit.
I would not want to put my goods.
All I'm gonna tell you, Charlie, is that this is a real city and real problems.
To Flint.
To the people of the city of Flint.
Eric Mays, councilman, ex-con, part-time poet.
What is this? This is my rap song. You know how they call people old school. Well, you can just call me School. Some gotta be real nowadays. Yeah, I got locked up.
There's my water truck.
Hey, gentlemen, look at this truck. It's full of nice clean water from Ann Arbor. We got showers to attach to it. We're having barbecue. We got the towels, just bring your kids. We got shower stalls that are heated, and we're having barbecue. Everybody come. It's clean. We even got sprinklers for the babies.
This is gonna be the first good, safe shower I've had in about a year and a half, 2 years.
There he is.
You can find that on YouTube or on our Facebook page, but yeah, just put our name in there.
Good.
No Bullshit News Hour.
Yep.
We should probably play that whole thing.
I want to hear his rap.
Well, yeah. We should play that whole 18-minute piece that you did. It's really it's the most concise recap of what happened up there, and it's very entertaining. And I would like to hear his rap too. I loved how Eric had it on cassette ready to roll when he got in the car.
Play his rap for
Cassette.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll get right back to it.
I'm so old.
I tell
You
you-
just call me School.
It is no surprise, though, he has the internet popularity that he does because he's a rarity now. With all we just talked about, how many
know.
politicians is out here really not caring about their persona, but the people?
This dude got no, man, not that one. The one he did
Oh,
for
the
us.
other one. Okay. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he got convicted for disorderly conduct in the Flint City Councilman. They arrested him, cuffed him, took him out. He was convicted, although it's not probable. It's a proven fact that there were two witnesses at this trial. One was the head of the council, and she lied. She perjured herself, where she said she didn't give him permission to leave. And when he came back, she said, "You didn't have permission to leave." And he did.
What?
And now that he's huge, he raised all the money in the world, and he's going to fight this shit to the bloody end. Like, keep going, Eric.
Every hour on the hour, when we listen and gain our knowledge and power, we turn to the no bullshit hour.
That's a wrap.
Y'all ain't got that TikTok.
See you Monday.